This is Steve Jewin for MMA Mania. This interview with the kid Adam Borics took place on August 26, 2019. He'll be fighting former two-time world champion Pat Curran on September 7, 2019 at Bellator 226 Bader vs. Kongo in San Jose, California. Borics' fight with Curran is part of the opening round of the Featherweight Grand Prix. Here's the interview with Adam Borics. MMA Mania.
All right, go ahead, Steve.
All right, Adam, this is Steve Jewin from MMA Mania. How are you doing today?
I am good. You?
Good as well, thank you. And I want to talk to you about this big upcoming fight you've got with Pat Curran. But first, I want to know, since you're such a phenom right now, you're undefeated, and you've won every fight at Bellator as a result, what do you attribute your success so far to?
I think I'm the most hard worker in this planet. So I'm working so hard every day. So nothing special.
Well, hard work definitely pays off because it's not only gotten you into this featherweight tournament, it also helped you defeat Aaron Pico in your last fight. So were you surprised given all the hype around Pico coming into that bout?
First of all, Pico is a great fighter, and he has a lot of potential, and he was a wrestling world champion. So, and not too many people can say that. But I was sure about it. I will finish him because I am the most hard worker in this planet.
And you're getting nothing but tough opponents. I mean, you had Pico, and now you're going to have Pat Curran, a two-time former champion. How do you prepare for somebody with that much experience? Adam? Dan, is he still on the line? Yep, I'm here.
You heard me?
Yeah, I didn't hear your answer. I asked how you prepare for Pat Curran.
All right, hang on 1 second, Dylan.
I hear you. So.
Okay. If we're good, the question was, how do you prepare for somebody that's a two-time world champion like Pat Curran with his amount of experience?
I train always like the same. I train like crazy, but he has a lot of experience, so I have to fight smart. It's a big opportunity fight as a former champion. So I just train smart, and I will fight smart.
Do you feel like in some ways that defeating somebody with his name and reputation makes you an honorary, like an uncrowned world champion, even though it's only the opening round?
I fight against a tough guy, and it's a big fight for me. And I really like this matchup because he's good everywhere, and he's a technical guy. So it's a good matchup for me. I don't care about it's a opening round. I want to fight against the guy. I became a world champion, and I think this is the right way.
Now, early in your career, you were fighting largely at home in Hungary, and since you've joined Bellator, you've started to travel internationally. How has that affected you as a fighter?
Hello?
Adam? Oh, yeah. I asked, how does the travel affect you as a fighter?
Sorry, say again?
How has traveling internationally for your fights affected you as a fighter?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I live in Florida now, like 2 years, and it was my dream, fighting in a big organization. So I just living my dream now, and I really like to fight in everywhere on the world. So I never been in California, and I really want to go there. So it's very cool.
Yeah, it should be an exciting fight that night in San Jose. You said you're living your dream. Did you always know ever since you were little that you wanted to be a fighter?
Yeah, not ever. I was 16 years old when I tried my first martial arts classes, and the training, I was like, damn, I wanna do this. I wanna be a fighter. And that time, everybody was like talking about me in my city. Oh, this guy is gonna be a good fighter, and I dream it. And my dream was always like live like a professional fighter, because in Hungary you can train like a professional fighter because there isn't enough training partners, and there is not too popular. We don't have a professional gym or something like this. And when I moved here, I was so happy. I can improve every day and still. So I think this is just a beginning for me, because I live here like 2 years, and this is just the beginning.
If it's just the beginning, it's already been a spectacular beginning, so we look forward to what's next. When you were first getting that experience at 16, were you being compared to anybody, or was there any fighter you thought you wanted to be like?
Um, you know, I am lucky because I have a lot of amateur fights, like I don't know, 50 or 60 amateur Kempo, K1, and amateur MMA. So, and everybody was talking about, oh, let's go ahead and go to the US and train there, and you will be a great fighter. And I was lucky. I could move here. So it's my life is like a dream. So it's crazy.
Were there any specific fighters that you looked up to, though, like Chuck Liddell or Anderson Silva? Was there any
Yeah, yeah,
fight?
yeah, 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 yeah. My favorite fighter was Chuck Liddell, definitely, because before I didn't know the MMA, but one time I saw Chuck Liddell on the YouTube, and that time, damn, I wanna fight like him. So yeah, he was my one of my favorite fighter. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I think you've proven that because your fights end in an exciting, violent fashion, which is what everybody knew the Iceman for. So that's the other thing I wanted to ask you about is, do you prefer the knockouts or do you prefer the submissions?
Yeah, I prefer the knockouts. Everybody wants to see a knockout, but if it always depends about the opportunity. If I see a submission opportunity, I use it, or if I see a knockout opportunity, I use that. So depends about the fight.
Fair enough. Now, who do you see in this tournament that you want to face if you get through this round with Pat Curran? Who would you like to fight in the next round?
I'm not thinking too much about the final. I have to focus on my next round, but of course, sometimes I'm thinking about. I mean, this featherweight tournament final is gonna be Adam Borics versus AG McKee.
Oh, that would be a fantastic matchup because that would be two undefeated fighters going all the way to the finals. So if that happened, one
Yeah, yeah,
person will be taking their first ever loss.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Well, it's an intriguing matchup. I hope it works out that way. But Adam, let me give you this chance to thank anybody that you'd like to thank, your teammates at the gym, sponsors, anybody you'd like.
Okay, I wanna say just thank you for my team, everybody, the Harnax 365, my coaches, Harry Hooft, Kami Barzini, Greg Jones, Dr. Pico, Shane Soriano, and every teammate, and for my managers and the Hungarian fans. They are amazing. So the kid is coming.
All right, the kid is coming to Bellator 226 for a match with two-time featherweight champion Pat Curran. It's going to be an explosive, amazing fight. Adam, thank you for the time today.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you, Dan, as well.
Thanks, Steve.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Once again, thanks to Adam Borics for today's interview. The opening round of the Featherweight Grand Prix will feature Sam Sicilia versus Pedro Carvalho, Daniel Strauss versus Derek Campos, Pat Curran versus Adam Boric, and Emmanuel Sanchez versus Taiwan Claxton. So two former world champions and a former number one contender all in this exciting Grand Prix at Bellator 226, headlined by a heavyweight title fight with Ryan Bader defending his title for the first time against Czech Kongo, currently on an fight winning streak. Thank you as always for listening to this interview, and subscribe to AngryMarks.com for more Bellator MMA interviews done exclusively for MMA Mania.